But nothing?
I'm trying to keep my mic from falling over.
Careful. Careful for the equipment there, man.
I know, right?
Man, it's been a minute since we've done a podcast here.
Yeah.
Talking winter with Swinter.
Feels like yesterday.
Some contract negotiations we were trying to work through.
That's right. That's right. Trying to do the job.
Yep.
Right. And here we are again, talking winter with Swinter. Man, it's good to be back.
Yeah.
Hear my own voice bellowing through the headphones on my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here we are from the Swinter Group, headquarters in St. Louis, Missouri. Ken Bogeman, Brent Reeder, and the one and only Jason Duncan.
Not
right?
Sure.
Are there more of you?
Yeah. There's I think he's some kind of like book critic or something out there somewhere with the same name as me.
Oh, so he's really smart.
Really?
Yeah. I guess.
So there is another Jason Duncan.
There is.
So if people were to Google Jason Duncan, they might not find you. They may find the other dude.
They may find but if they find me, they'll see a picture of excellence next
A
to me.
dashingly good-looking man with an incredible singing voice and moves for days.
Yeah. All of the above.
There it is. There it is. Man, it is good. It is good to record stuff again, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say to be in the studio, but really it's just microphones and a mixing console in my office.
We need to fix that.
You know what? You're right. You know how we fix that?
Angel investor.
True. Or we get people talking to us, and you know how they can talk to us?
No, tell me.
They can text us at 314-260-4352. Or they can email us at podcast@swintergroup.com. Or they can find us on the Twitters at Swinter Snow Talk. That's right. There's 3 ways.
No excuse.
No, well, yes. I mean, there's plenty of excuses.
Right. No good ones.
Like there was anything on the planet better to do than to send us information.
That's true.
But if they're listening, thank you for listening. We appreciate you being here. And you know what we're gonna talk about today? I mean, you guys know because we just talked about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the listeners don't know. So we're going to fill them in. Today is whether or not you should take pictures and submit pictures while doing snow services or after doing snow services. So in the last several years, there's been a big push from nationals in particular that are requiring you to submit photographs in order to get paid. Right. There's people saying, oh, you should take pictures, take lots of pictures, keep pictures, have the pictures on file. Right. Okay. Sometimes a picture can do you a lot of good, but more often than not, a picture is the kiss of death. And so our official recommendation here on the Talking Winter with Swinter podcast is do not ever submit photographs of partially completed work, which unfortunately, after you've plowed and then applied chemical before you leave, that is an incomplete job.
Yep.
And therein lies the issue, right? So you take a picture of a plowed facility and, cleared sidewalks, plowed parking lots, and there's salt on the ground, and you snap a picture and you send it in. Well, what also is on the ground, other than the salt, is all of the snowpack and ice.
Yep.
Right. And so what you've done is you've documented the snowpack and the ice that was present when you left and said everything's done. So unless you're going to come back and take more pictures later after your de-icing chemical has had an opportunity to do its job, really all you're doing is you're providing evidence for a potential plaintiff's attorney that, look, there is in fact ice on the parking lot.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's a little hairy because a lot of folks do a lot of work for national companies that require those photographs, right?
They require them in order for you to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's sort of a double-edged sword for you right there.
Right. So we did work for a company here. This goes back several years, but they wanted us to submit photographs of our work when we were finished. Right. And, because of the litigation work that we do, I went back to them and said, hey, I'm happy to do the work. I'm happy to do this for you, but I need to charge you for my return trip to get those photos. Are you going to pay for that? To which he said, oh, no. Just snap a picture when you're finished and then send it in. And I had to explain, well, when we're finished working, the chemicals need an opportunity and they need time to do their job. So if I'm going to send you a picture, a finished picture, I want to send you a photograph that shows everything looks good. We have liquid on the parking lot, not ice. There's no snowpack. I want to send you a good finished picture, which is going to necessitate me either waiting for the de-icing chemicals to do its job, or I have to come back at a later time to get that picture, because as soon as I spread those chemicals, it's not going to be finished. So for me to do that for you, I'm happy to do so. How do I charge you for that? And it was like we had somehow, opened the, opened the tomb of unknown here. And there was, and the account manager that I was talking to was like, well, no, just send me a picture when you're done plowing, when you're leaving. And I said, okay, well, that's not a finished picture. If I send you that picture, are you then acknowledging a job well done and taking ownership for the work that was completed to that point? And they said, oh, no. It's up to you to decide when it's done. I said, okay, so you want me to send you a finished picture? Yes. Okay. But you want me to send the finished picture before it's actually finished? Well, no, I want a finished picture. Okay. So I need to come back later. No, just send it to me when you're finished with the work. I said, okay, do you understand how we're going around and around in circles here? Right. And it was kind of fun for my seat in the house because, well,
I'm sure.
Yeah, it was fine. But
He didn't care.
Didn't get it. Didn't understand why I had a problem with that. So let's talk about that a little bit. So in the course of doing expert witness work for slip and fall litigation, oftentimes, I'm provided photographs that were sent in by the subcontractor, and that shows here's what the work looked like, right? And actually very, very recently in the last couple of weeks, we had a case we were working on in the Northeast for where there was a very well respected, very large snow removal contractor that required their subcontractors to utilize a photo uploading service, whereby they would take pictures and upload it to say, here's the conditions. We're finished. Yay. And on this particular site, it wasn't a very aggressive scope of work. So they had been plowing and there was snowpack, and they claimed to have applied salt, but in the photos, the white salt disappears on the white snowpack that was everywhere. And the photographs that made their way to my desk in the course of this litigation showed snowpack everywhere. It showed almost the entire facility covered in snowpack. It showed ice in areas that had melted and refrozen. There were spots that you could see some salt that was around, but there wasn't a whole heck of a lot. There are areas where there were no salt laying around because they probably hadn't salted that yet. The photographs that we had showed very, very incomplete work. And those photographs were all from anywhere from 3 to 6 hours prior to the person falling. However, there were no photographs of the area where the person fell at the time that they fell. The only photographs we had were of either non-existent or insufficient de-icing chemicals applied. The photographs we had showed ice pack that showed snow pack. I mean, the photographs were all horrible. They spelled a horrible, horrible picture. And there was no way to prove what was actually done or what the conditions were at the time of the fall. But
Even
that's
if they
the way
had
it
come
was.
back and reapplied salt to take care of that condition, they had no proof.
Exactly. There was no photographs of, look at how good this complex looks. Nothing. Because they spread their salt, they took their photos, they sent them in, and off they went. Now, it very well may have been that 6 hours later, at the time this person fell, everything melted off and looked perfect. That's entirely possible. I'm going to call it unlikely, but it's possible. But the photographs that were submitted were not good. That's the issue that you come into in a world of trying to turn in photographs. So if your contract requires you to submit photographs, what we suggest is to talk to the person that's requiring those photographs and say, what exactly are you looking for? Right? So are you looking to say this job is complete? In which case I'm going to send you the photographs and then you own it? Or are you just looking for a photograph or a file? Or like what's the purpose of the photographs here? What are you looking for? And then think about the pictures that are taken and look at it and go, well, do you see anywhere that somebody could slip and fall? How can a dirtbag plaintiff's attorney turn this around to make me look bad? Right? Or how can some expert that attorney hires turn this photograph around to make me look bad?
Right. And, pardon me, most, I would say it's probably in the high 90s. People who are taking those photographs are pulling out their smartphone, taking a couple of quick photos and moving on with their day. And, there's really no way to overtype, type in information about what this picture represents or what that picture represents, or even to put an icon on the photo somewhere to say this particular thing was not within my scope of work, et cetera, right? So not saying that those things are better for having a photograph during or immediately post service before everything's cleared up, but at least that would be something that you could say, hey, look, this photograph here, but there's some details with it, right? So that could eliminate a little bit of the liability. I'm clearly not saying that, go ahead and take those photos just as long as you do this. We're not saying that. But if you are in a situation where photos are required, then it might be something to look into. There's some ability to put an icon on that photo or the ability to type in some information overlaid on the photo so that it makes it a little more clear what you've done.
Yeah.
I have found that when you're in those working for those companies and they require photos, nobody's reviewing them. You can take the most nondescript photo that shows absolutely nothing very easily.
Sure. And they don't care, right?
Yeah,
they just want the photo in the system.
Take a picture up close of a parking lot. Make sure it's perfect.
Yeah, find somewhere where there's no snow.
Right.
Zoom in and get a picture of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, depending on what the rules are on who you're working for, but there's something that we would like to know more about here is where are you in the country or the world? What are you doing? What are the people that you're working for? What are they requiring in terms of photographs? We'd like to know more about that. That's something that we'd like to maybe help you with. If you're working for somebody that requires photographs, we can help you talk about that a little bit and understand, maybe what you should ask, what you shouldn't ask, things like that. And how you can get in touch with us?
I know how.
Oh yeah? How's that?
They can email their questions, their comments to podcast@swinnergroup.com.
That's the one.
Or if you'd prefer, you can send us a text at 314-260-4352. Or on a social media platform that I am absolutely unfamiliar with, Twitter, @SwinterSnowTalk.
Yeah. Our Twitter page is about a week and a half from being done. I am not
getting close to 50-50 on girls looking for you to join their fan page.
Is it really?
Yeah.
See, what we ought to do? We ought to talk to some of the folks here that are young and hip and with it, that understand how the Twitters work.
Yeah,
that's what we ought to do.
We do have some of those.
Yeah, a couple of them at least. Anyway, yeah. Do you guys?
Or we could just reach out to Elon directly.
Oh, dang!
I bet he'd take my call.
You should. You know what? That would be awesome. Give that dude a buzz. Did you know that Elon's various aircraft are not available on FlightAware?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. That's right. Yep.
Paid for that, didn't he?
No, you just hid the ownership. Can't be seen. It's pretty awesome.
Well, it's because they were tracking his every move and posting it online.
Yeah.
That's a security
I would
risk.
be very upset if that was me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, I kind of talked a lot here. Do you guys questions, comments, thoughts about that?
No, and at the point that I was making with being able to overtype or place an icon or some kind of symbology on your picture, simply for the places that absolutely require a photograph for you to get paid. Try to, in my mind, trying to think of ways to limit that liability as much as possible. Make the notation, hey, chemical de-icing materials have been put down, but they have not had a chance to work. Or here's an arrow at this particular point in the parking lot where it's a low spot, and when it melts, the water will drain here.
Yeah.
And,
anything
things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's something where we can really, really, really get into the weeds on what, on how a contract is how a contract is written to know what you're supposed to do and how you're supposed to do it. And that's what we do every day here. So
yeah,
shoot us something if you want to know about that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Good.
All
Is that it? Man. All right. So don't send pictures unless you know what you're sending. Moral of that story, right?
Right. Always.
That's
a life lesson.
That's a life lesson. Well, hey, man. Good to talk to y'all. Glad to be back. Hope this was a short, sweet, and to the point for you. We are talking Winter with Swinner. Ken Bogeman, Brent Reeder, Jason Duggan here. Swinner Group's world headquarters in St. Louis, Missouri. Glad you could have joined us for this. Stay tuned. We got more coming. Good to see y'all. Right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be back.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice. Here we are in the spring. All right. See y'all later. Bye.